Regional political and diplomatic analysts believe that a joint EAC-SADC summit could be one of the possible ways to achieve a lasting solution to the insecurity issues in the eastern DRC. However, they emphasize that this approach must be accompanied by strong political will from the DRC government to address the root causes of the crisis. Adam Skizera kicks us off tonight.
The fall of Goma to the M23 rebel group has triggered a series of high-level summits involving regional blocs such as the East African Community EAC and the Southern African Development Community SADC. This gathering aimed at finding a solution to the ongoing crisis in the Eastern DRC as the situation continues to draw international attention. The East African Community was the first to call for a joint EAC-SADC summit to address the escalating crisis in the Eastern DRC. This proposal was later endorsed by SADC. Dr. Charles Murigande, an expert in politics and diplomacy, believes that the summit could offer a viable solution to the crisis in the Eastern DRC. However, he emphasizes that for the talks to be effective, they must be driven by the genuine political will of all parties directly involved in the conflict.
If this root cause was understood well, I don't think any country in the whole of Eastern Congo, the whole of Southern Africa, or the whole of Africa, even in the world, would side with Tshisekedi when Tshisekedi says he can only entertain a total military victory against its own population. Don't see President Tshisekedi saying to all these presidents from EAC and SADC point blank that he will never negotiate if all of them are telling them that we are no longer ready to die for you. We won't fight for you. We won't help you to fight and exterminate a part of your population. Therefore, we are asking you to sit down and negotiate. If you don't want to do that, we are going to withdraw, let you deal with the issue until you solve it. That position would lead to the launch of negotiations, and the issue is as simple as I explained, can find a solution.
However, analysts argue that SADC has shown bias in its approach to the conflict, particularly after accusing the Rwanda Defense Force in its statement following the extraordinary summit. The Rwandan government firmly rejected these accusations. This aligns with the stance of certain SADC member states, including South Africa, which has been criticized for displaying hypocrisy in handling the issue. Senator Evode Uwizeyimana finds that such approaches only exacerbates the problem rather than contributing to a lasting solution. You can see they are playing a double game. How does South Africa, as part of SADC, emphasize diplomatic processes and then deploy troops in the Eastern DRC for an offensive mission? This was precisely the issue that led the withdrawal of the aircraft. It was meant to be a neutral force, not an offensive one. That's why I'm saying there is no military solution could be in this issue. Even President Kagame reiterated that without political will from DRC, there cannot be a resolution at all. If the concerned parties fail to take ownership of the issue, we may reach at a point where Tshisekedi insists on fighting, while the regional blocs step back and let him face the consequences. At that stage, M23 could advance all the way to Kinshasa. President Felix Tshisekedi's absence at the 24th Extraordinary Summit of the East African Community Heads of State raised concerns about commitment to a regional solution for the crisis in the Eastern DRC. During the summit, President Paul Kagame expressed concerns about the effectiveness of the ongoing process.
By the way, even now the person or the country we are talking about is not represented as we are discussing. And it is supposed to be, the country is supposed to be part of East Africa, but nowhere to be represented. So I'm not sure what bearing what we are discussing has on what happens in the process of finding a solution in this country.
Rwanda has consistently advocated for a political solution to the ongoing conflict and welcomes the proposed joint summit of the East African Community EAC and SADC. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.